made a motor. So long because my editing program is really slow and I'm just slow at editing, so they don't go well together. So this will be the explanation part of the video. I have some things set up. So this is the layout. It has a quint on the top with 2 storage, 4 storage on the bottom with a quad and tape. So pretty standard. Same as the last video I made, or the last 2 videos ago I think we did an 8x8. The only difference is we have chopped off this layer here. So there used to be a layer here, chopped it off. The top layout isn't any different, but the bottom input uses a slider, which basically does the storage, instead of having a row of pistons and target blocks. Dust, I mean not pistons. It also makes the bottom way slower. I hope you cannot hear that train. It is extremely screechy. Anyway, so I will now explain the layout. So, let's do the top first. So, the moves I'm going to show you now, doing the opening and the closing, they are this blue circuit. That move, I did not mean to do that. Ready? Ignore I did that. I haven't set up the inputs. Anyway, we have this, that, and that. This gets power but it's not necessary. It just does. How the wiring works, then we power these 2 kind of at the same time. Not like that. So we power this and then 1 tick later we power this. You can do it with 1 ticking. And all it does is that. So it does that except with 1 tick, it does this. So it's going to show 1 there, it takes less time to set. I planned this all out, I thought it would go well, but it's gone terrible. Anyway, so let's start from the beginning. So you power, now you can't see it. Oh, but you need it here. Let's just do it here. So, you need to power this storage. Power that. Storage. And then the double. That, and then you do that, and rotate that, then that. So that's the closing of the bottom. Now I'll do the, why don't we just do it mistakes. Top clothing. Then you want to take off this side. By the way, this explanation will be detailed in my comment. So sides, and then put the closing on the bottom. Storage and that. So again, both of those ways, as you see, so I'm going to run that way. This. And again, this guys got interesting. Double piston extender. This again. And the bottom line. That will just push this again. You might see a pattern like from the 7x7 in a couple of videos. It's basically that, but more sort of that's the closing. I'll do the same thing on this side. Try that, and that is all that has to do kind of is. It means we don't need any cobbles yet. I said I wouldn't make a mistake. So, as I was saying, we do that, and then they get one tick like it happened before. That. Did I mention there's storage on the closing too then? And then this is where it gets interesting. You pull out the big extender, or quint, no, the sextuple. So the bottom is still on cord with this timer. Basically it switches on the comparator quickly on the closing and takes a while on the opening. So we need to power this, well, so you do the sequence and stuff. So you get down to the all that last bit, you power that. Actually, let's get one. And then power this. Like normal, you power that as well. Like what it's doing. Like that. And then do that again. This. So this is the same thing as the closing. Double all of that into that. And then we power the tape, I'll show how that works. So that just goes like that. That's how that works. And then by the time that's by the time these push up, it's all the way to the storage. We'll do the bottom later. Then we'll do the quint again. These power these, they go one tick, but this is just fast. Those will get powered. And then retract those. By the way, you can do what I'm doing. You can do that, like double tossing it quickly. But it's really hard to do with redstone pots. So use a technique like this or something. Like that. Anyway, that's not important now. And then the bottom, then powers this. Like this. While the tape's going, that kind of spams, but that doesn't matter. Power that. Except, might think, oh, but that breaks. Oh, you're right, which is really annoying. But you need to power this, and because you're holding this down, you may as well hold this down. That's how I do it. And then you power this, power that, and then unpower these. You take that, double pulse, and that is how the bottom works, and how the whole closing works. Opening, I mean. So, yeah, that is basically how the layout works. Now I'll go into detail on some bits and bobs in the top and bottom. So for this, for the top, I've only got this part, so it's easier to show in the bottom. I've only got this. I've got 2 here because this tape is stackable by 2, not by 1. So yeah. So I've added some circuits, as you can see from the door. So I have added so there are 2 kind of doubles. So first off, I'll show you the sequence of how the quint works. There's a lot of signs, but don't worry. So I've labelled each of the inputs. So this is A, B, C, D. And then over here is observers plus the double, because you power these, which are called observers because they push the observers. That goes straight into the double, which I'll talk about later, which does that. So for the sequence, you need to power A, B, C, D. So power A, B, C, D. So we get this far. And actually, how we're going to power D, we're going to use an observer because, yeah, if that happens. So this gets pushed here because this gets powered, then this observer, because these are note blocks, powers this, 2 ticking that, or 1 half ticking it. Ooh. Doing that, but that doesn't matter. And then, so that's this bit done. Then we need to do C, D, B, A. So the same as these 2, and then those reversed. So C, D, B, A. So then we get to this kind of situation. And then, so now we've done this. Now I need to do C times 2. Now this doesn't actually do anything at the moment. It's just this how the sequence works. So I can show you this like that. So C gets pulsed twice. So now we have this, and then we power the observers plus the double, which I'll explain in a minute. Or 1, 2. So that kind of carries the circuit. And then now we've done that, and now we need to times it by 4. But on the 3rd loop out of 4, we need to power. Oh, I've almost forgot. We need to power this small circuit, which basically you power this, and it's in this state when the sequence is finished. So you power it once, twice, 3 times, and it powers that. So it powers once every 4, and I've just set it so it's on the 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to power that as well. We need to power that like that, and then. So that is kind of that bit done, and then it says here we do that 4 times. So I will just I'll just power this circuit that does these bits, which is this. So why did that not work? because I copied it wrong. I'm stupid. Right, that's actually what's meant to happen. I have no clue where I was, so I have to restart again. Sorry, by this time we have. So that's the sequence. There we power that. We power that, which we already did. And then we loop it again. So we power this. Power this. So that. And that's the whole extended arm. So it extends down to here. So we'll just the bottom pushed up. And then so that's the. Then we need to power this again. And then the third time we power this. We have to power that. Then you realise this needs to retract it, so this circuit powers on the third time and this is the third time. So this powers the double bit again, retracting that. Then we power this for the fourth time. Power this. Powering this to reset it back to how it was before. Now as you can see we've done all this. Now we've got retraction bits. So that basically finishes the extender. It's the yellow circuit here. So it's not that complicated. So that's good. So the moves we do for this is we power C. Getting it down to here. As you saw when I was retracting here, I kind of showed it off. But we basically power this for 4 ticks, switch it off quickly, and then power it again. So I'm not really sure how I can show this, but I've got the circuit that does it. So I should have made these so you can see it a bit better. Oh well. So what that does is it powers this. So you can't tell what that does. So it powers this 4-tick repeater, which goes on into this note block. A bit hard to see. Which goes into this note block here, which then 4 ticks this because it's solid obviously. And then this detects it 1 tick later because observers have a delay of 1 tick, going into this 4-tick repeater, which also powers this. So it powers this on for 4 ticks, switches it off, waits 1 tick of delay and powers it on for 4 ticks again. So yeah, basically powers it on. So it does that. Except I can't be with a player, but I forgot. But anyway, that works. And what we have to do is we have to double pulse this, then double pulse this and this, and double pulse this. So we double pulse it. Does that? We need to double pulse this. Double pulse this. Which does the same thing as that. Then double pulse this again. And that is the full retraction part from this last bit. So at the moment I forgot to show you. This will be like this, and then you need to bring that into storage and across here, which is what this tiny bit here powers. That goes into there and goes across to this, which then powers the storage. Nearly forgot. So to help with the storage, we have these 2 blocks here. Basically makes it way easier. So do the storage like that, and then to get it back into storage we do that, then do that, but because of the timings it doesn't push down. That's how we do the storage. And then the bottom will push blocks up to there, So we just do the whole entire thing again, going into that. I hope that made a bit of sense. So now I'll go more into detail about the different circuits. Oh yeah, also I forgot. The closing and opening bit that actually happens on both. Done by this circuit. That does that. And just like I normally do, I forgot something. So we need this. We need that. So let's pretend we've done the closing. We'll do that. And that will just bring that into storage. And this also is useful for powering the extender. So how we have it here is we have a comparator, and the cool thing about comparators, they can't take a 1-tick pulse. It just doesn't work. But what they can take is a 2-tick pulse. Wow. Right here so this will power the storage but not power this. And then we have a toggle here which goes into a piston that goes straight into this block, which is handy. And we only have 3-tick here because if I 2-tick this, it won't work, but if I 3-tick it, it will. So it makes it 1 tick slower, but no, more like 2 ticks, but that's fine. So that's that if you're wondering, and then this happens. So this is kind of the refire circuit of this thing, so the thing that does it times 4. So we power it from here. As you see, you need a bunch of delay going into it because this, yeah. So this just adds delay and it goes into that. So if I kind of, I can't really explain this because I didn't make it, but it works. So we have dropper, 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 dropper. This is a furnace which has 3 snowballs in it. This dropper has non-stackable, stackable items. And then hoppers going into the circuits. So hopper, there's a hopper behind this one there, and a hopper here. And then this observer just powers this dropper after being detected by that. So every time you power this, this will get powered. So, well, not every time. You power this once, this will get power, which will go back into this, powering the whole thing again. So you power that once, so and it goes into that, which loops round back into this again, loops round back into this, times 3, but we only need to do it times 4. So we power it again, and it goes into this one. But like, this only powered 3 times. That's because we start the extender by powering this, not by powering this. So we power this, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, which goes into here, which does the retraction bits. So this is very useful. I found it by someone called, this person showed it to me, Synergy it. I don't know who originally made it, but they showed it to me. Now they've got a different name, I'm not sure what it is though. I just realised this video is going to be really long. Oh well. I'll try and be faster on the bottom. So basically, this happens, so if we try and make the big extender, so you power this, you power double, you power this, and then you power this, and then this tells us to power the sequence again. So we power the sequence, So this double bit is also part of the sequence, I just haven't linked them up. So we do this. Power this. So that's all the sequence. And then we power this. And then it tells us to do the sequence again, so power that. Double. And we power this, which then powers the double again. Then power this. Tells us to do the sequence again, which is for the 4th time. So we power this, power this, which just resets it back how it was before, and then power this, and it tells us to do the retraction bits. So that is powering that, double pulsing this, double pulsing. Double pulsing that, double pulsing this, that does the same thing, double pulse that, you've done that, and then you do it all over again after some refire bits, which is done over there like I said. So now we will move to the bottom. Well, I guess I can explain the double. So you might see an entity and be like, ah, that's scary. I find entities scary because they make you look smart, and smart means hard normally. So this entity, basically, how can I show this well? Basically an edited version of this. We need a fence so it goes halfway into the block. Basically all it does is this. So how is this on for a decent amount of time? One tick for a bit, but we need it to be longer than that because the double takes longer than that. So you replace with a wooden one, no, a bit longer. But also a wooden one, so we need a bunch of signal strength 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or something. But if we get a lightweighted pressure plate, it's only 1, but a wooden one is 15. That's what this entity is for. I have another one in the bottom which I'll explain. So we power this observer line, which powers this piston going straight into the double. This is the input to the double. So this powers up, powering the pressure plate obviously. Powering this dust, which goes up into here. This is a slab, so the pulse can't go down. It goes into this line because, you know, the double. We power this, and then straight away after that power that. That's how the double works. And then a tick later we go into this. This powers this block, powering this again, which doesn't matter, but also powering this. So that does the extension. And then also 2 ticks later powers this. So it needs to be 2 ticks. Well, this timing does. I kind of copied a double extender and changed how it works, but I got the timings from one Vipley RS made. So it goes into this, powers this. This has the right amount of timing. This is just a composter, uses single strength, that's enough to go around. So this just powers this, which is basically a pulse extender to this line. Kind of. Actually no, it's not, because this makes a comparator clock, I think. I'm not really sure how this works, but this one ticks at the right time. And then you also have down here where you needed a fence there, but so yeah, an armor stand. Armor stand is an entity just like a minecart. If you zero click it in, it doesn't move like that. So that's fine, but I needed a fence there to get it in there. And then we need this slab so this doesn't go too far up and break. So then we have 3 ticks here going into this note block, which powers this 2 tick, which does the retraction of the double, the last retraction. Also goes into these 2 observers, powering this toggle, which then powers the observers again after a bunch of delay. So as you can see, powers that powers, and that powers, and that powers twice. Yeah, it goes again. So that's that quickly. And it's a bit slow, but this wasn't meant to be fast. So that's how that works. This blue circuit, I don't particularly think it needs much explanation, but I guess I can. So power this, powers the 4-tick repeater, powers this on and off, and after I'm powering that twice, which takes care of the storage. This observer powers this going into here, which does that. Another observer going off into here, powers a piston, basically just powering this with enough delay. Powering this piston twice, powering this wall block, no, powering this repeater, going over here, going up here, powering this, does stuff later. Goes to this repeater, powers this, 1 ticks this, goes down, 1 tick later, 1 ticks this, like I was struggling to do earlier. And then while that's happening, this has popped up again, powering this, which as you know makes a double pulse, 4 ticks, double pulse is this, which also conveniently makes a 2-tick, so that works. And then whilst that is happening, this observer chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 observers go into this, doing the last retraction of the double, and then you come back to here, which has been going this whole time, 8 ticks or 9, going back into the storage, putting the block back up here, which you can see, if I slide the game now, so storage, 1 tick storage, this gets sorted here, and then that goes again. Then you do the same thing on the opening, just use the storage, that's fine. Then there's the double, and the storage again. But you might think, oh, why did that get a long pulse? Because this 3-tick repeater, which doesn't matter. So yeah. And then if you're wondering how the sequence works, so firstly, the input is here, so it can be easily accessed by this. So as you can see in the actual door, this is here, comparator detects this going straight back into here. So yeah, this is going to be a really long video, an hour long or so. Anyway, so this goes through here, these observers and note blocks and hoppers, powers this note block, which powers this dust, what's it called, slab, so it doesn't go down. It goes into the top row of pistons, which is A. Now we need to go B, C, D. So then we go 2 ticks later, or 1 tick later than that. We power B. And then what I realised is in here, you go C, D, C, D. So the same thing twice. And what also powers twice is a 4-tick repeater. So you can power, pretend this is C and then that's D. Like that. With a bit more delay. So that is what we have, a 4-tick repeater going into the C line, and then a redstone dot, so it doesn't power this piston, note block going down, powering this, powering D, and then this retracts after that's powered, powering C again, and then that powers again, powering D. So that is up to here. Now we need to do C times 2. Actually no, we don't. We need to do BAC times 2. So what we have is from this 4-tick, we have this toggle. So after that 4-tick turns off, this retracts, powering the hopper, powering 2 observers, going into here, going in, then this goes again up into here. And now I've done all of that. Now I need to do C times 2, which is easy. This goes across here already, buds this, and then 1, 2, 3 ticks later, C times 2. That's how the sequence works, and then that in turn goes to the double. As you can kind of see, This is some extra bit. I'm doing this in the wrong wall colour. But oh well. So that goes into here and then here. And that goes into the observer line powering the W. And then these repeaters here just give a ton of delay powering this. And then also powering back into the refire. It goes all the way back and it loops around 4 times, as I said. So now we have this. I'll just do a quick brief sequence kind of. So we power the sequence, power chain the lock, and that goes into the double. Power this, which tells you to do the sequence again. Does the double. Power this, do that, tells you to do the sequence again. Does the double. Power this, which does the double again. And you do the sequence one more time. Then the retraction bits. So that is how the top works. I don't think I can go into more detail. Actually, I can, about the retraction move. These 3 blocks made me feel very smart. So, this is the input to the retraction bits from here. It goes all the way into here. No, it doesn't. It goes up here. This goes into this C, which is this, and then it goes also around into this repeater. Powers this gravity block, or it could be sand. If I've done concrete powder because it's color coded. Goes into this circuit which I showed before, and then down here we have this observer. Now this goes down into this dust, which is redirected by this, so it doesn't power this. But now I realise you don't need that because it can power that, but oh well. This goes into a 4-tick repeater, which gives us enough delay, powering this going up. So the reason why we have this is so you can put signals through each other. So that powers that, and that powers that, but they don't power each other. So that's why I use that. It just gave me a bunch of delay, so it makes the circuitry look really cool. And then that obviously makes a double pulse going into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the amount of delay you need. Going into here, double pulsing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, double pulsing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, double pulsing this again. And 2-tick repeater because if you have a 2-tick, turns a double pulse into a single pulse. So that makes it easier to use. Get into these observers here, powering this, going to here, going into the toggle, which then does that, which does this on the refire. It powers this line and then powers the storage. At the meantime, these bunch of repeaters go here, powering this toggle, which is a bit strange, but it works. It does that, which goes into this another toggle going into this, which refires the whole extender all over again. Also, you might realise, here I have repeaters, here I have observers. I built this originally using observers, but then I realised you can use repeaters. Repeaters are cheaper and just look cooler, and I forgot to change it in this version. So yeah, that is how the top works basically in its entirety. Now the bottom. So first thing, how we power the bottom, which is with this epic circuit here. Well, I guess not. I guess this small circuit, this is part of the bottom. So we use this hopper timer because, as you can guess, hopefully, if you don't understand how these work, you probably shouldn't be watching this video. basically if you put like, I don't know, 6 items in, it means it turns on instantly, well not instantly, quickly. You need to wait for the cooldown, and then waits for these items to leave. Except in the actual door we have 30 because the top is so slow. So that's what that bit does. Then it goes into this circuit over here. So this is the comparator that you've got in there. And it detects the comparator, which basically this is a big pulse extender. Because this slider in the bottom is so slow, it's not like in the 7x7 when it was 0 tick, and we need to power it twice on the opening and closing, and 4 tick doesn't work, so you need a bigger pulse extender. So I use this, so this basically powers this twice at the right times, and because items take longer to fall down than get pushed up, that means that it stays in this hopper for a while, which means it powers that. This is just the same thing as that, just smaller, so it powers it twice, which is what we need with some delay in between for the rest of the storage to do stuff. So how the storage works is we need to power this, this, and this, 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 and this. That's like the start of it. So this gives us 2 pulses to here. So what we do is we get output from this, powers this, and then powers this, which I can kind of show in the door, hopefully. So powers this, powers the slider going into here, going for these observers, which with some delay because the slider has some delay. To this, powering this input line which does that. Now we need to power this as well, which has an upwards observer powering these. So that's how that happens, and then it gets powered twice because of the pulse extender. And then this also goes into a toggle, so as the rest of the storage. This is just to mute it. So I'm not really going to go in depth to the storage because I don't think it's that interesting, but basically you power stuff. Well then what happens is the double, so this is the inputs we have. So the double is just your normal standard double extender. It's used so often now, you don't need to credit, I don't even know who didn't make it. And then the other interesting bit is you need to power this. I'll show you here. You need to power this, 2 tick that, storage, power that. You need to do that in the opening and closing. Let's leave that there. Cool. So what we have is, I learnt this in the 4 wide 6x6 I did, these tiny blocks here. So basically it means whenever you power this, this gets powered twice with some delay. Meaning, that does that bit for you, that, and then that. So that is really useful. Also means it does that too, which is really helpful. So if you're wondering what this bit is, it basically helps with here. It's just a way to power the slider from this side. So now onto the tape. I think is a good place to go. So the tape has so it's, I guess I can get rid of these quickly. So this is the tape and the entirety, well not entirety. So you power this piston to start it, and then it goes across, powering this as it goes this way, and it goes down till you get to the end. But I've added this, so basically spams that slider and this 4 tick repeater, which means that if we power this, it's just easier. So this is powered if we speed it up and we get to the end, what it does is it retracts it and puts it into storage. So now I can get rid of all this because I've explained the tape. So, well, I guess we can show this. So, the tape, so we are up to here. Empty the tape, which goes around, gets it into storage. And now we have a few moves to do. So we need to power this, this, and then some extra bits. So first we need to power this, and this, and this. So the circuit I use is this. So you power this lamp with one tick, because lamps take longer to turn off and turn on. You get 2 pulses out of them, which is nice. And as you can see, we need to power this, and this, and this, and then we can power that at the right time, and it won't pulse the pistons. So we power this, which powers this line, and then one tick later powers this line. Because this is a transparent block, if we power this, it won't go down to here. So we power this, and it does that. It's also really fast, which is nice. Then what we have to do is this bottom move. One tick that, and then this extra bit of stuff. And then as I showed over there, you have to hold down this and this. Power this, power that, and then do the retraction bits. So we've got this far. Now this is where this circuit comes in. Another minecart, scary. Oh no. So basically this is just, we added a cobweb instead of those slabs. Basically means it's an even longer pulse extender, like really long. Like too long for this, but the top is already slow, so it doesn't matter if the bottom's slow. So basically this powers. Now there's string here, which gets updated by the cart, which the observer detects going up into here, up to here, powering this piston with the cauldron, going to this, which then hard powers these two, which is what we want. Then after this has fallen, it unpowers them. But also this goes into a toggle, powers this circuit here. It's basically, this is another pulse extender. It's nearly as long as that one, but it powers this twice. And now this one needs to be a bit longer because you need other stuff to happen in between the tape, the slider. So this, so if we power this, does that. Also this will be, so yeah. So if you connect those together, those will extend. And then after a bit, oh, that doesn't happen in the actual thing. That's just how it works. So there's this, these two, then the minecart falls, and then just does that. So that's what we want. So if you didn't understand that, well, this video is already an hour long. I don't want to go longer. So the way, I forgot to mention, the way we do that after the tape, the way we power this retraction circuit, this another thing, this one has 57 items in it, and it gets powered whenever we power this, which gets powered once on the opening and once on the closing, which is quite nice. Just gives this a gigantic pulse extender kind of. So yeah, then we do that. I'm gonna cut and record the rest in a second. Sorry about that, I had to go for a second. So here we are. So we've got this far, and now we need to power this. So I saw this in a Pixie Blocks video. Thank you, or Funky Piantas on YouTube, I think. In their 4 wide 6x6, which they found out that if you double pulse this and double pulse this, the whole retraction perfectly fine. So if you caught that. So it double pulses this, then double pulses this to 1 tick later. And because of this 3 tick, it powers them again. So yeah, it's also really fast. So that is how you do the rest of the bottom. So the way this is done, so this is the hopper circuit, goes into this lamp, which goes into this, as I said. Also Bud powers this dropper, updated by this piston, which goes into this, which happens. And then this also goes into a 4 tick, goes into a toggle, which powers this piston. So then so how we do that bit is you get the toggle that we had here that did this, except at the end it retracts, which is useful. So it powers this piston, which does a double pulse, which we have over here. And then oh wait, I completely forgot. No. So this 1 ticks when this is powered and not powered. It goes into these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 observers. Double pulses this line like that did over there. And this can be on both edges because this is always extended, so that won't power it. And then this bit does that double pulse, so it goes up here and then goes across into this, and then with the right amount of delay powers that, which then finishes the door. So we can kind of see if I can play the action. And then if we skip the things by changing TPS, just do this, and then go down onto the sequence, runs that, and that, powers the sequence again, powers this, and this is where the bottom kicks in. So the bottom does that, take. So by the time this is all done, the tape was pushed up just in time. And that's the rest of the top. And that. Now we've got this bit. Now this then falls down and does that last bit. And then this is the top, so this powers this. And doing that again, it's already. Let's pull this, powers that. And this last bit. So that powers that circuit I told you about earlier. Goes, and then this bit's really fast. Proud of it. So that is the end of the door, and then I guess some extra bit is this side. So we just have this, switches it on, switches it off. This powers basically nearly last thing in the door, and this. So this is connected to this slider. And this is connected to the refire, and on the closing this refire doesn't happen but the storage does. And because the bottom's slower than the top, that means it will end up with this being pushed down. So that's how that works. This side, self-explanatory. Now how we power this is quite cool as well. This powers here, powering this doesn't do anything because it's a torch and doesn't get a 2-tick pulse, and needs a 2-tick pulse to power off. And then this goes up powering this piston, which basically lets this pulse come down to here, that signal come down here powering this, and we just have this torch, which constantly powers that. And then this bit here I kind of said. So that is basically everything, I think, in the door, and that is how my 8x8 piston door works. I doubt any of you would want more detailed explanation to the bottom. So yeah. That was basically everything done, and I hope you enjoyed this really long video. I think it's over an hour now. So if you've watched it this far, comment cheesy peas if you got this far. I bet none of you knew that reference. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Green outro, as O Gamer said. Bye.